Okay, guys, hi, and welcome to Cornelia Pauline. In this quick video, I just wanted to share with you guys real quick something that I seen a lot, and this is essentially like if you are a seller on Fiverr, and you want to book more gigs, you want to get more jobs, and you want to obviously make more money, then one of the things that's so important is when you are submitting yourself to requests to really be strategic about it and kind of really know how you want to submit yourself to the requests, right? So because I see a lot of like no-nos and a lot of stuff that you don't want to be doing, because if you're doing that, especially on Fiverr, then you won't even impress any potential clients. And obviously that's why most of you guys are on Fiverr, to get like more clients. So let's get through it. I just submitted for one of my companies, I submitted a request in terms of like looking for an outbrain campaign expert, right? And campaign manager. So that's like a digital advertising, obviously a role. And I put details into the request to be really specific about it. And then one of the things that I do, obviously like expect is like for someone to read this request, right? And I can tell from like usually the answer that they're giving me already, like really kind of if they've read it or if they didn't read it, and also kind of how they're addressing themselves, how they're essentially like showing up for their brand, for their business. So for instance, here you go ahead, right? They use my username. Okay, that's okay. And they said, I've professionally gone through your request. I don't know what that means necessarily, to professionally go through it. It doesn't really tell me anything if you got it, what I was asking for. And I fully understand it. Okay. As a marketer, I would like to work for your company and set up an email campaign for your product to boost revenue. So here it's really interesting because I didn't ask in any word or with any word that I want to have an email campaign for this job request or this job post right now on Fiverr that I put out there. So it's really interesting because that person just added that to it and then kind of inboxed me for a better discussion. This my regards, right? So it's kind of like a little bit odd, right, so to speak, in how they framed everything, and kind of makes me think right away that they didn't read it and they didn't really know not only what I was asking for, they're probably not gonna really give me the service that I'm looking for because they couldn't even like do it when submitting the job request, right? And the first thing is I stopped reading right after the first two words because they wrote hello dear, and to be honest with you, I know English might not be your first language. I'm looking at the username and I'm thinking maybe English is not their first language, and I can check like as well. But I wanted to say is like if you're writing hello dear, okay, it's kind of like, correct me if you're wrong, if you're a fellow female entrepreneur business owner, let me know if it also bugs you like crazy when someone calls you hello dear or hello honey or anything like that. That is so absolutely unprofessional, like to me, and it also makes me not even want to work with that person at all, right? So we can probably go into more about like maybe even misogyny or stuff like that, that maybe sometimes that entails when you call someone dear, hello dear, in sort of like a professional job request thing. But I don't want to go into it with this, obviously with this video, but you probably know, I would love to know in the comments from you guys what you think about that. But yeah, a big no-no for me. And I know for a lot of my other entrepreneur friends as well. Okay, so here we got a Nakira deal. Okay, I'm a social media marketing expert. Okay, so here they're telling me a whole bunch of stuff about them. And all of the other stuff that they can do, but they didn't in detail tell me more about their experience, especially when it comes to outbrain campaign management. And I thought that was really odd. And like this was not like essentially a good submission either, even though they definitely tried. They also wrote, I'm always available to respond you by respect. Okay, here I can tell that English could be an issue in terms of like just communication wise, right? I don't mind if they are not like completely fluent in English, but it just makes me a little bit worried if they really will fully capture and understand what I'm looking for. And just for the sake of, obviously, whenever we're hiring for a business, I'm trying to hire as good as I possibly can already. So if there's any kind of red flags, that's it, right? Because there's a lot of course, other competitors out there. And when you're a seller on Fiverr, or you submit your service to clients outside of Fiverr, or if it's Upwork or whatever it is, you have to be just really focused on attention to detail when it comes to all of that. And then here, for instance, just 2 sentences. Hi there, I've read your or actually it's 4, okay. Your requirements clearly would like to work on it. You can trust me, thank you. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but when someone writes "you can trust me," usually it's typically psychologically, right? When any of you guys also studied psychology, it's like when someone writes that usually makes me think right away, there's probably something that I can't trust them about, because why would they say that I can trust them? So just like that's also like a little bit of a red flag, but based on past hires, what we find out and stuff like that. Here it gets very interesting. Their Google certified digital marketer even went ahead, they checked my profile, so they just used my first name, not my profile name. I can appreciate it. I can tell right away. I post a nice job, okay, and I know how to do it. You mentioned that you're using Virginia Pain Manager. Okay, here they actually read my job post to share the first one in the project, right? Google Ads expert and so on. So now they really tell me, so they got my attention because they actually read who I'm hiring for, what role it is, and they're also telling me certifications that relate to this role and that kind of stuff. So I'm probably going to dig a little bit deeper into this guy and this seller, and look what if they have any other reviews, client testimonials. I'm going to chat with them some more, get a feel for their personality, that kind of stuff before hiring them, right? Randomly is doing free classify. Let me know if you really want to. Okay, capitalized, weird. That's just my first thought. If you really wanted successful results for this year project, no, probably not. I'm not trying to be too overcritical, and I know like some of these guys, or sellers, are working really hard to obviously book a job. But like, I hope that this video, like my point or my intention with this video was to really kind of give you guys some insight into when someone goes on Fiverr, like me, who's not only a seller but who's also a Fiverr seller, but who's also a buyer. So I'm also buying gigs, so to speak, and services. What goes through my head if I'm looking at someone, how they're kind of presenting themselves, right? And why I would potentially like dig a little deeper, and what are some big no-nos and red flags. So I hope this video like help you in that sense a lot of it. Let me know in the comments down below. And then obviously like I was gonna, hello great buyer. Okay, they spelled it wrong. Okay. Yeah, here's really weird because mine has nothing to do with LinkedIn ads at all. So super, there's no point in reading further or analyzing the seller. Okay, so this is kind of more like a little bit of a blah blah, right? If that makes sense. With the other person, they told me a little bit more specifically what their certifications is, what their experience is. This person goes ahead and kind of just tells me more overall like blah blah stuff, right? Like, so to speak, like there's nothing specific. Obviously, like anyone, obviously if I'm hiring them, I'm hoping that they can fulfill the job, to the best of their capabilities, that they would like to make a contribution to the growth of our team, that kind of stuff, that they have good technical communicative skills. It's a given. So that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm kind of like not that interested in responding to this person. So there were not that many applicants because there's actually a tough role we found to hire for an outbound campaign manager. But I'm gonna like dig a little deeper when it comes to just one seller because I found it really interesting. And if you guys found this video to be helpful, let me know if you want me to kind of do a review like this also when it comes to Upwork proposal submissions that I've gotten. I post a ton of jobs and we've hired a ton of people and contractors and also employees from Upwork. So just let me know. If you find anything else interesting, drop a comment down below, like this video as always, and of course hit that subscribe button if you found my content to be useful. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.